7 a.m. on the west coast of the United States of America, 10 a.m. on the east coast, 3 p.m. in London. In Sydney, New South Wales, it is 12 midnight. And in Malaysia, it's 1976. I'm Jay Sheldon, and I'm not wearing pants. Oh, hello, everybody. Welcome in, come in, grab a beer or a cup of coffee or a refreshment and have a seat, sit back, relax. Hello to Luna, yo to you. Thank you for joining in as always. And a happy birthday, I understand, is coming up in a couple days. I don't think we'll be live on your birthday, so we'll tell you now, happy birthday, one of our regular listeners. And it's Wednesday. We made it halfway through the week. And speaking of, it's in August. All right. Well, there you go. Really early. Listen, speaking of Saturday's broadcast, I want to get right to this, just right off the top of the show. I may be a little bit late. I'm not entirely sure. It depends, because I am going to be at 9, and every night on Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, we are live at 10 with I'm Not Wearing Pants with our live stream. However, this Saturday, I've been invited to Stephen Bones Everything live stream, and yes, and let me just show you, I hope this is going to work. There you go. NSR VAS or VAs, voiceover artists, VAs. See the S is a little smaller there. Okay. Oh wait, come back. There we go. Okay. We're gonna do a special live stream with a bunch of the voice artists from NSR, No Straight Roads, and it is the Vinyl City Pride Zine live stream. They have come out. A bunch of fans, and I don't know too much about this, but it sounds damn cool. Oh, you'll be there. Excellent. Yeah, so the Vinyl City Pride Zine, we're going to talk about that, check it out, react to it. Suling will be there, who is, of course, Mayday. Of course, Stephen Bones will be there, who plays Zook. Priscilla Patrick, Tatiana. Myself, who did the voice for Cliff. Alfred Lowe, who's DK West, Joanna Beasy, who is Eve, and FT, Zine Heads. Cool. So that is going to be at 9 p.m. Malaysia time on this Saturday. I don't know how long it's going to last, so our live stream might be a little bit late. I will do my best to bow out gracefully and get the show set up and ready to go at 10. If we can. I'm pretty sure we'll be able to. But worst case scenario, we'll just go along and having a great time on Stephen Bones Everything. And that'll have to substitute. But I'm going to try not to miss a show. Haven't missed one yet, so we'll do our best. So, you're going to be there. You'll be excited. Even got Saturday off from work. Fantastic. That's great. So indeed, that's coming up. You'll see that poster out on different social media platforms. And it's damn cool. So check that out. All right. Update on my life. It's Wednesday. We're halfway through the week. The weather's been not so bad. A little hotter today here in Malaysia. I mean, it's always hot, but it's levels of, not so bad, livable hot, pretty sweaty hot, and oh my freaking God, I died and went to hell hot. So pick one of those, and that's where we usually are. Miko update, she's doing well. However, of course, she still doesn't. Every night around 5:30, 6 o'clock our time, I usually go upstairs, throw on a pair of shorts and a sleeveless shirt, and get ready to go for her WALK. She's in the next room, so I can't say it. She knows what that word means. And I came downstairs today about 6 o'clock, and she's at the bottom of the stairs looking up at me with those literal puppy dog eyes. And she had that look, and then she looked over at the door, and she looked up at me, and I'm thinking, oh, man. If you don't know what I'm complaining about, it's that, we're still all under ridiculous house arrest, and we are not even supposed to go out to exercise. Sunshine, vitamin D, one of the best things. Yeah, No, we're not allowed to do that. Whatever morons made up that part of the rules. So we are also not allowed to take the dog for a walk. Oh, I said it. Oh, okay. Hey, and Viz Toby, hello. Yeah, it has been a while. Hey, cool. Nice to have you along. Thanks. So, yeah, we are not able to go out for her pull around the neighborhood. So there's that. Anyway, but beyond that, we're playing with her ball and stuff and giving her tugs around the yard. I've got a pretty big yard here with a nice front and side yard on there, and so she's able to kind of get a run around and get some exercise. Not as good as a kilometer or two walking around the neighborhood, but you know, what choice do we have, sadly? All right, we got a lot coming up tonight, and we may even have some new viewers. I spoke to a dear friend of mine who used to, former colleague of mine, and she said she reads her son a book every night before bed, but her son is actually wised up to the idea. So when she gets through with one book, he says, "Mommy, another book?" Because I think he knows that as long as she's reading a book, he doesn't have to go to sleep. So she's keeps reading him books. So now she's thinking, because we do a chapter in our books every night here on the show at the end of the stream, the last 20 minutes, half an hour. And right now we're doing the Jungle Book. We're just not too far through, maybe chapter 2 or 3, something like that. The chapters are incredibly long, so we've been cutting them up. But we will have more tonight. If you want, you can go back to the beginning of the Jungle Book. It was just maybe 4-5 streams ago. If you look on the thumbnails down here at the bottom of the thumbnail, you'll always see I put the update on what book we're doing, or if it's a new book, it'll say a new book, whatever the title. We've done Alice in Wonderland, we did The Wizard of Oz, Velveteen Rabbit, we've done a ton, and they all come from the Gutenberg Project, so thanks to those folks over there. But yeah, it's so Joey, if you're listening, thank you for coming along for the ride, and coming up later on, we'll continue on with our story of the Jungle Book. Anyway, if you looked at my thumbnail tonight, you will see I got fact-checked. Yes! Finally! I have been waiting to get fact-checked forever, and finally tonight, it happened. Earlier today. Now here's the weird part. I get a notification. I don't know if you can see this or not. Maybe if I stretch it up. Here, I'll cover my face. There you go. Partly false information found in your post. Blah, 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 blah. Fact checkers, blah, blah, blah. Determined that blah, blah, blah. And some of the information you posted was partly false. Okay. So then I go to the post that they fact-checked, and guess what? It's not fact-checked. And it's not that just I can't see it. It's that nobody can, because they took the fact-check down. Why? Because it's science. This is the post that I put up that got fact-checked. And then they must have unfact-checked it when they realized that what I posted was from a legitimate scientific source, and it is indeed a fact. So, there you go. Anyway, we're very pleased with that. I'm so proud of myself that I actually got fact check. Yes! Been waiting for that to happen forever. So, take your little fact checkers and run along. Have a nice day. Now, I'm probably going to wind up getting deleted off Facebook or something. Frankly, I don't care. But whatever. We live on Twitch. We live on YouTube. Whether or not we're on Facebook, because frankly, I'm about that close with these morons. I'm just about that close. And to that end, by the way, we have a new place for you to find our show and join us. And hang on one quick second. I'll tell you all about it. It is called locals.com. Locals.com is a very cool site like YouTube and rumble.com/JSheldonNoPants. Videos, communities, uploads, comments. It's almost like a Facebooky, YouTube, rumble.com thing, but it is censor-free. They don't fact check stuff. You can say what you want to say and not worry about getting cut off or shut down. And it's very exciting. It's up and coming. It's relatively new. There's a lot of folks over there, a lot of people that, you know, are fed up with the whole censorship crap that all the big tech people are doing. So it's called locals.com. I have set up a community there. And of course, it's called No Pants. So nopants.locals.com. You can go over there. Couple of issues that I'm working on. My video uploads at the moment can only be 30 minutes long. So I have to take and put in a whole crap load of post-production and cut out segments of the shows, so I wind up with just this 30-minute telescoped junk. It's okay, it's watchable, but it's really a pain in the butt. My show is usually one side or the other of an hour. And my podcast, the audio portion of the show, which we put up to all the podcast platforms. Thank you, by the way. Our numbers still doing great all across Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Oh, and we have a new one. Yes, we are also now on Geo7. I hope I said that right. It's an Indian podcast. No, it's not in Tamil or Hindi. It's just it's from India, and it's called Giosaavn. I don't know. Giosaavn is where you will also now find our podcast. So hello to all our subscriptions and listeners over there. And I wish I had a better way or knew how to pronounce that. Giosaavn. Something like that. Radio.com, we're also there now. Pocket Podcasts lists us, and thank you. TuneIn, Stitcher, Radio Public, you name it, we're there. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your downloads and your subscriptions. Really, we're doing gangbusters over there. Really appreciate it. All right, on to a little bit of drama and content here. You know what? You may or may not like this guy, but whether or not you do, I know you're looking at the picture now going, him. Whether you like his politics or not, and for our audio listeners, I'm talking about Ronald Reagan, the late Ronald Reagan. He made some of the most incredible speeches, and he had some of the most incredible, I don't know who his writers were or how much of it he wrote, but listen to what he's had to say about us, we, the people. Listen to this guy. It's amazing.
Ours was the first revolution in the history of mankind that truly reversed the course of government, and with three little words: we, the people. We, the people, tell the government what to do. It doesn't tell us. We, the people, are the driver. The government is the car, and we decide where it should go and by what route and how fast. Almost all the world's constitutions are documents in which governments tell the people what their privileges are. Our Constitution is a document in which we, the people, tell the government what it is allowed to do.
Yeah. There you go. That's the name of that tune. The late former President Ronald Reagan. Amazing. Yet another. Have you seen the UN speech that he gave, where he said something about, I often think about what if we were under threat from some source outside of the earth, and how it would bring all the countries together to band together to fight against that threat. He said it much better than I just really badly paraphrased it. But check that out if you haven't. It's a Ronald Reagan UN speech about UFOs or something. I don't know, whatever, you'll find it. It's a very popular speech. Okay, got another one for you. As you know, we are all masked wherever we go. I know a lot of you folks listening around other parts of the world are not, or it's purely an option. And you can or cannot wear face masks if you want to. A friend of mine posted this today, which we see everywhere. I'm going out the front gate of my house, and there is a mask, 2 masks in fact, laying in the driveway in front of where my gates open. 2 of them. People just throw these freaking things everywhere, which actually made me think, if these masks are so filled with germs and viruses, why don't we have these giant red biohazard bags where we throw them? Shouldn't we? I mean, apparently they're collecting all this virus and stopping it from going into our mouths and noses, or stopping us from expelling them and collecting them. So instead of being, I mean, forget a regular garbage can, which nobody can seem to manage to actually put a used mask in, because they are all over the streets, which then wash into the rivers and the drains. Seriously, you cannot go a kilometer here. You don't see 50 of them. They are all over. First of all, you people are idiots for not throwing them away in a normal garbage bag. But seriously, if they're so dangerous, why aren't there these red, the red biohazard bags they have everywhere? Why don't we throw them in that? Shouldn't we be doing that? They tell us how dangerous everything is. I had on the same subject, I was in an internet discussion, and I use that word lightly, with someone, and they mentioned, I was saying that the important number we should be looking at is the amount of deaths. Any death is one too many, but people die, sorry, they do, from all kinds of things. And so someone posted this. It's from the, reported to the VAERS. Now, VAERS is the Vaccine Adverse Event Reporting System. Okay? I'm going to put this up and show you how stupid it is. Here's the latest panic porn graph. Okay? Reported deaths. Look what they did from 1980 or 1990. 1990 through 2020. You see how it goes along here? Should I get my mouse back? Hold on. There we go. All right. Look. Almost, yeah, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and then look. Wow, look at that spike. Folks, it's panic porn. There was no virus until then, this particular virus. You notice how I'm avoiding using the name? So to put a chart up like this is freaking stupidity. I mean, this particular virus didn't exist until here. So of course oh my God, look at how high the deaths have gone. Okay, seriously. Panic porn. That's all it is. Insane. All right. An update for you, and a good one. Thank goodness. This appeared. This is from freemalaysiatoday.com. Tip of the hat to them. An article. This is something we discussed several shows ago, where they had put up this barbed razor wire in the stairway of an apartment complex. And I just came right out and called stupid, because God forbid there be a fire or some other thing where people needed to escape. And they couldn't because all the stairwells had razor wire in them. Well, finally, a light bulb went on and they had a clear moment for a second, and they have removed all the barbed wire at the staircases in the flats. Citing exactly what I talked about, the chance of a fire or a medical emergency. And frankly, they're not supposed to do that anyway. Regulations say you cannot do that. So what brain fart happened where they suddenly decided they were going to do this? But thankfully somebody said, no, you can't. So they took that down, which makes me sleep a little better at night. All right, let's get on to some positive stuff because I'm tired of talking about this crap. Oh man, a friend of mine posted this today. Seth, thank you. And Seth's post, this is a public post, Taylor McElroy, who created wild green memes for ecological fiends. Okay, but this is fantastic. You know, Bruce Lee once said, we need to be more like water. Water flows and goes around and goes through and it bends and it shapes itself as we go through life. You know, it's being very philosophical and nice. You know, Bruce Lee, be like water. I'm sure you've heard that quote before. I think this is a better idea. Be like a tree. If you're watching on rumble.com/JSheldonNoPants, like and subscribe, please. If you're on the audio, I'm sorry, I can just describe this to you if you're on the audio podcast. This is a palm tree that fell over. You can see it comes up out of the, let's see, let me get my mouse back here. Comes up out of the ground, fell over, and then refused to die. It spun itself right around, touched the ground, and shot right back up again. That's the title says, this palm tree fell over, refused to die, and curved right back up again. That's exactly what we should do. You fall over, refuse to die. You get right back up, and you keep on growing. I love that. That is very cool. Very nice. Thank you for sharing that. And inspirational. Yeah, I've got some inspiration from Margaret Atwood. And again, dear friend Leon posted this. I won't put all of his information there because it's not a public post, but the poem is a public post, so I can share this without giving anybody's state secrets away. But it was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. And I think in the world we find ourselves in currently, this means a lot. It really does. This is called The Moment, and it is from Margaret Atwood. I think you're going to enjoy this. The moment when, after many years of hard work and a long voyage, you stand in the center of your room, house, half acre, square mile, in the center of your island, your country, knowing at last how you got there, and you say, I own this, is the same moment when the trees unloose their soft arms from around you. The birds take back their language. The cliffs fissure and collapse. The air moves back from you like a wave, and you can't breathe. No, they whisper, you own nothing. You are a visitor, time after time, climbing the hill, planting the flag, proclaiming, we never belong to you. You never found us. It was always the other way round. Yeah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Margaret Atwood. I loved that when I saw it. Thank you, Leon, for posting that. Really nice stuff. Very cool. Yeah, all right. Thank you, Margaret, for the inspirations. All right, I got to make sure I've caught up on everything here. Let me just double check on, yeah, there we go. Okay. One last one before we move on to the Jungle Book tonight. And I found this, I think it was my cousin back in the US who posted this. And I thought, what a damn cool idea. I know a lot of my friends collect records, mostly albums. So you could do this with albums, but it's better with 45s. Some of you young people listening saying, what's a 45? It's a vinyl record, okay? Came in, well, at the end, it came in two varieties. An LP, long playing record, you know, which was 33 and a third RPMs, and then a 45, which was smaller, and 45 RPMs. So a friend of mine posted this, that someone did this with their record collection. And again, instead of them just sitting around collecting dust, I saw this and I thought, yeah, this is brilliant. And you know, it's a little bit like a Banksy. Am I saying that right? You know, the artist, Banksy. You'll see here, if you're watching again on the podcast, if you're listening, you have to go to rumble.com/JSheldonNoPants. You can see the visual. They took all their records, all their 45 records, put them up on the wall, I assume in some way that didn't destroy them. And then they've got strings running down to this little silhouette of a girl that's very much like the Banksy drawing that he's very famous for. And you got the little flower here. And it's a wall decoration. It's brilliant. If you know the Banksy little girl with the balloon, this is absolutely cool. And what a great way, if you have a bunch of 45 records, to display them. That is brilliant. I love that. If I don't have any more. I used to, because I'll tell you, when you're in radio, you get records out the wazoo. Back in the day, when there were records, we played. When I first started in radio back in 1978, yeah, that long ago, we had everything we did. We had a studio with two turntables, one on either side. We had to queue up the records. And, we had this giant control panel in front of us with a mic that came in, not unlike this one, actually, but came this way. And back in my days, we got records from the record companies all the time, albums, LPs, and 45s of all, you name it, from the sublime to the ridiculous. And I used to have a collection. In fact, an even better idea for this Banksy idea, a wall decoration, sometimes as a promotion, the record companies would press the vinyl not in black, but in colored vinyl. And I used to collect those. I had all kinds. Some were see-through, some were solid, but they were red and yellow and green and blue and purple. And that would make this even cooler as a wall decoration. That would be dynamite. That would really be cool. Sadly, they don't make 45s anymore. So if you've got a collection, you're in luck. Oh, man, that's very cool. I'm very pleased with that. Nice. All right. It's time to move up and move on and move over to the Jungle Book. All right. I'm going to turn on my image here, but I've got to move forward to the Jungle Book shot. There we go. Don't forget, thank you for your subscriptions and your downloads on all our podcast channels, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the different places you are listening to the audio portion of the show. And if you'd like to watch a rebroadcast of all of our episodes, you can go to rumble.com/JSheldonNoPants. And that is our channel at rumble.com. Subscribe, please, if you wouldn't mind. It's free. Sign up for an account. Absolutely free. Rumble.com/JSheldonNoPants. You find our channel there with all our shows, including this one, which usually goes up within 6-8 hours of my being live. So there you go. All right. The Jungle Book. We left last time with Baloo and Bagheera and Mowgli headed off to find, well, not Mowgli, because that's who they're looking for. And they thought the best person to help them would be Kaa, the rock python. So they decided to go find Kaa. And we continue our adventure in the Jungle Book. They found him stretched out on a warm ledge in the afternoon sun, admiring his beautiful new coat. for he had been in retirement for the last 10 days, changing his skin. And now he was very splendid, darting his big blunt-nosed head along the ground and twisting the 30 feet of his body into fantastic knots and curves, licking his lips as he thought of dinner to come. "He has not eaten," said Baloo with a grunt of relief as soon as he saw the beautifully mottled brown and yellow jacket. "Be careful, Bagheera. He's always a little blind after he changed his skin, and very quick to strike." Now Kaa was not a poisonous snake. In fact, he rather despised the poison snakes as cowards, but his strength lay in his hug, and when he had once lapped his huge coils around anybody, there was no more to be said. "Good hunting!" cried Baloo, sitting up on his haunches. Like all snakes of his breed, Cod was rather deaf and didn't hear the first call. Then he curled up, ready for any accident, his head lowered. "Good hunting for us all," he answered. "Oh, Baloo, what dost thou do here? Good hunting, Bagheera. One of us at least needs food. Is there any news of game afoot? A doe now, or even a young buck? I am as empty as a dried well." "We are hunting," said Baloo carelessly. He knew that you must not hurry Kaa. He's too big. "Give me permission to come with you," said Kaa. "A blow more or less is nothing to thee, Bagheera or Baloo, but I have to wait, and wait for days in a wood path, and climb half a night on the mere chance of a young ape. Pshaw! The branches are not what they were when I was young. Rotten twigs, dry boughs are they all." "Maybe thy great weight has something to do with the matter," said Baloo. "I am a fair length, said Kaa with a little pride. "But for that, it is the fault of this new-grown timber. I came very near to falling on my last hunt, very near indeed, and the noise of my slipping, for my tail was not tightly wrapped around a tree, waked the Bandar-log, and they called me most evil names." "Footless yellow earthworm," said Bagheera under his whiskers, as though he were trying to remember something. "Tss, have they ever called me that?" said Kaa. "Something of that kind it was that they shouted to us last moon, but we never noticed them. They'll say anything, even that thou hast lost all thy teeth, and will not face anything bigger than a kid, because they are indeed shameless, these Bandar-log, because thou art afraid of the he-goat's horns," Bagheera went on sweetly. "Now, a snake, especially a wary old python like Kaa, very seldom shows that he's angry. But Baloo and Bagheera could see the big swallowing muscles on either side of Kaa's throat ripple and bulge. "The Bandar-log have shifted their ground," he said quietly. "When I came up into the sun today, I heard them whooping among the treetops." It is the Bandar-log that we follow now," said Baloo, but the words stuck in his throat, for that was the first time in his memory that one of the jungle people had owned to being interested in the doings of the monkeys.
beyond doubt, then it's too small a thing that takes two such leaders in their own jungle, I'm certain, on the trail of the Bandalog, Ka replied courteously as he swelled with curiosity. Indeed, Baloo began, I'm no more than the old and sometimes very foolish teacher of the law to the Sinui wolf cubs, and Bagheera here is Bagheera, said the Black Panther, and his jaws shut with a snap, for he did not believe in being humble. The trouble is this, Ka, those nut stealers and pickers of palm leaves have stolen away our man-cub, of whom thou hast perhaps heard. I heard some news from Iki, his quills made him presumptuous, of a man-thing that was entered into a wolf pack, but I didn't believe it. Iki is full of stories, half heard and very badly told. Oh, it is true. He's such a man-cub as never was, said Baloo. The best and wisest and boldest of man-cubs, my own pupil, who shall make the name of Baloo famous through all the jungles. And besides, we love him, Ka. Tss, said Ka, weaving his head to and fro. I have also known what love is. There are tales I could tell that need a clear night when we are all well fed to praise properly, said Bagheera quickly. Our man-cub is in the hands of the Bandalog now, and we know that of all the jungle people, they fear Ka alone. They fear me alone. They have good reason, said Ka. Chattering, foolish, vain, vain, foolish, and chattering are the monkeys. But a man-thing in their hands is no good luck. They grow tired of the nuts they pick and throw them down. They carry a branch half a day, meaning to do great things with it, and then they snap it in two. That man-thing is not to be envied. They call me also Yellowfish, was it not? Worm, earthworm, said Bagheera, as well as other things which I cannot say now for shame. We must remind them to speak well of their master. We must help them with their wandering memories. Now, whither they went with the cub, the jungle alone knows. Toward the sunset, I believe, said Baloo. We had thought that thou wouldst know, Ka. I? How? I take them when they come in my way, but I do not hunt the Bandalog, or frogs, or green scum on a water hole, for that matter. Up! Hilo, Hila, look up, Baloo of the Seeonee wolf pack. Baloo looked up to see where the voice came from, and there was Ron the kite, sweeping down with the sun shining on his upturned flanges of his wings. It was near Ron's bedtime, but he had arranged all over the jungle looking for the bear, and had missed him in the thick foliage. What is it? Said Baloo. I've seen Mowgli among the Bandalog. He bade me tell you. I watched. The Bandalog have taken him beyond the river to the monkey city, to the cold lairs. They may stay there for a night or 10 nights or an hour. I've told the bats to watch through the dark time. That is my message. Good hunting, all you below. Full gorge and a deep sleep to you, Ron, cried Bagheera. I will remember thee in my next kill, and put aside the head for thee alone, O best of kites. It is nothing. It is nothing. The boy held the master word. I could have done no less. And Ron circled up again to his roost. He has not forgotten to use his tongue, said Baloo with a chuckle of pride. To think of one so young remembering the master word for the birds, too, while he was being pulled across the trees. It was most firmly driven into him, said Bagheera, but I am proud of him. And now we must go to the cold lairs. And that's where we're going to leave it for tonight. As they head for the cold lairs to find Mowgli and hopefully rescue him, we will see on our next live stream, which will be coming up on Saturday night, we hope, after Stephen Bones Everything and their NSR stream, which I will be a part of at 9 o'clock this Saturday. Mark your calendars, 9 o'clock Saturday night, just before our 10 o'clock live stream. So be sure you join us over there. Hope to see you then. All right, folks, that's going to do it for us. We are out of here. I thank you very much for the likes and the downloads and the streams and the shares and the subscriptions. They all mean a great deal to me and the show, and we appreciate it. We appreciate your support. Until next time, I will see you then Saturday night. I'm Jay Sheldon, and I'm not wearing pants. Good night.